Hello students, welcome to class 10th English. Students, let us learn the poem The Song of India written by the poet V.K. Gokak. About the poet V.K. Gokak. His complete name is Vinayaka Krishna Gokak. He was born at Savanur in Dharwad district. He was educated at Karnataka College and then at Oxford. He was a wide travelled man and had held several important educational posts. He received Padma Shri Award, Sahitya Academy Award and Jnanapita Award. He is one of the leading figure of the Navya Kavya in Kannada poetry. Navya Kavya is a new version of poetry written by him. Before we read on to the poem, let me give an introduction to it. What exactly is a poem, a song of India? This poem is in the form of conversation between the poet and Mother India. The poet wants to sing about India's beautiful futures, the Himalayas, the rock cut temples, epics written on stones, its dams, shipbuilding yards, about its technology, and many other features. Whereas Mother India wants the poet to speak about the beggars, lepers swarming the streets, the filth and dirt filling its retreat, ignorant farmers, helpless children, and many more things. Students, you need to refer to page number 81, 82, and 83 of your textbook for poem reading as I go on with my explanation. Stanza 1 of the poem describes the greatness of India. The poet asks Mother India, "What song shall I sing of you, my mother?" I asked, "Shall I sing of the Himalayas with their snow-born peaks? Of the three seas that wash your palm, shall I sing? Of your clear dawn with its pure gold streaks?" Said the mother, imperturbable, calm, "Sing of the beggar and the leper that swarm my streets, sing of the filth and dirt that foul my sylvan retreats." Swarm is a crowd, and sylvan retreats is a place of isolation in deep wounds. Now, what exactly the poet asks? The poet asks Mother India whether he could sing about the Himalayan snow-clad peaks or of the coastline where water from three seas wash ashore, or should he sing about the clear dawn with pure gold streaks of sunshine? To this, the Mother India replies very calmly that he should sing about the beggars and the lepers are the untouchables that swarm the streets, that crowd up the streets, and he should sing about the dirt and the filth that spoil the sylvan retreats. The glory of India is spoken in the second stanza. Here the poet asks Mother India if he shall sing about the rock-cut temples that have the epics written on stone. The story of the Ramayana or Mahabharata are carved on the many temples, many stones. He wanted to know whether he could sing about that or about the children who died as martyrs, who had sacrificed their life for the sake of the country. Or should he talk about the seers and prophets, prophets who walk alone trying to form a path for others to follow? The poet is asking the mother whether he should speak about all these people. To this, the Mother Earth angrily remarks that he should sing about the millions of farmers who toil in the hot sun, who work hard in the hot sun. Their faces were wrinkled, reflecting their ignorance, who are tired of their work, which is shown on their face. This must be spoken about, she says. And he should also sing about the state of the helpless child that is born in a poor house. So the mother wants the poet to speak about the poverty and the ignorance of the people. The poet wants to speak about the progress of India in the third stanza. The poet nervously asks Mother what song should he sing for her. Does she want to know about the progress India has made in building dams and ships and its technology it has brought about? The hard work has made India famous in the atomic age. Poet wants to talk about the progress made in technology in buildings, dams, shipbuilding yards, and many other things. But Mother wishes to speak about the strikes started by the iron men, which in turn led to class wars, the harsh men, who in turn started the strikes, and which has led to the class wars, means conflict between the privileged and underprivileged people. The beginning of a new dawn. The poet complains to Mother India, asking, was there no song that he could write for her where everything is complete, whole, and pure? Listening to this, Mother India gets up wearing a blue sari surrounded by milky white oceans reflecting light, provides a seat on which Mother sits to write the book of morrows that would change India's destiny. She started writing about the changes to be done in the next decade. Book of Morrow, write about tomorrow. Her forehead opens to write India's fate, where the sun god yields and drives away the darkness with its light. A new dawn begins. There is a beginning of a new dawn, new era, where there is no slavery, no torture, no more suffering. A new India is born, where new ideals, new society is created.